A lot of people have this fear when it comes to the word blogging. Like, I know that I should have a blog because I want people to find me for whatever reason. Um, but God, ooh, doing a blog, wow, that's, really difficult. Well, to me, blogging, my version of blogging is, first of all, a blog is a simple place where you can put everything that interests you in one place. It's something that you own and on which no one can put advertising or change it or do whatever without your permission. Okay. But blogging is as easy on one level as sending an email to the world. And on my Bright Shiny Objects blog, which is just a place where I put stuff that's interesting to me, I use a tool called Feedly. And this is stuff that I would read anyway. I'm just flipping through, different pieces of information, different sources or sites or searches that I track. And I find something interesting like this from one of my favorite websites, Mind Body Green, and I can go and flip through this article and say, yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily want to post that to my blog, but I could at least click the tweet button and send this out as a tweet. I could do that, you know, and that's a form of blogging. But the other thing is, so let's say I come along and I don't know if I'm actually going to find something, like right now. But what I could do is, as I'm flipping, through here, I'm seeing all kinds of different stuff that's, that's interesting. Um, but here, for example, I'm clicking V for view or pressing V for view, and I'm going to this article and I'm saying, wow, this is kind of, this looks kind of interesting. It's, it may be blog worthy. Okay. And what I can do is just go and grab a sentence and use a tool in WordPress called Press This. And I could go and just take this right now and, trim off the title and, go and fix the punctuation. And ideally, what I would want to do is to block quote this and to say, this is why I think this is interesting, or you should read this, or whatever. And then here, make a transformational or transformative value added statement. And then here, um, have a call to enter action. Proper spelling and punctuation is always good. And then I can save this as a draft and then do further editing on my blog. But right now, just that, that simple tool, that I used, and this is what it looks like inside of WordPress. I could go ahead and click preview in WordPress. And voila, what we're going to see here is, what this would look like if I click the publish button. Because right now this is private, no one can see it. So here's the title. Here's the sentence that I typed in. This is why I think it's interesting. Here's the quote with a link back to the source. Here's a value-added statement and call to interaction. That could be a blog post. Of course, I'd want to go and add a picture and do some other things to make it interesting. But, what is a blog except, like a curated combination of different things that reflect who I am or my brand or what I want people to think of me. Okay, so here's another thing that I frequently, wow, this looks like really good. Okay, so this might be something. Again, I might not want to just tweet this, um, but grab a sentence and send this out to Google Plus, which in my system is also going to send it to Facebook and Twitter. So I'm going to hit all three of my social networks simply by sharing this using a tool called Buffer, which is another tool that I like. So there's kind of like a place for everything that I find. And then one of the things that I do, here's another one of my favorite websites. And usually they have a big fat picture or some kind of nice juicy meme or quote, along with it. But in this particular case, they don't. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will just go to the summary paragraph, um, and I'll look for something, really good. If I can't find it, then I'll just go and, use the title and the link back to the article and just send it off. It's not necessarily best practice, but, no one's grading. Uh, um, so anyway, at some point in time, then I come to the end of the things that I like to read every day. Okay, and I'll go back, and there were a couple of things that I saved for later yesterday because I want to show you uh, this one thing. So these are some things that okay, here's an interesting thing about blogging. So let's say I come across a good video and I want to share this video. I want to put it on my blog. This is how easy it is to post, on your blog to share a video. Just click video and select the video button. And I paste my video URL up here and I fetch it. So there's my video. And I just put in the title and I publish it. And then I want to view my post. And voila, that's how easy it is to take a cool TED Talk or something that you want to share and just post it out to your blog. Then one of the little the little secrets or tactics that I use is that now, for example, I could go and I could post this to Facebook just by clicking the Facebook sharing button on my blog. Okay, and I haven't watched this, but I'll say must. Okay, and I'll share that. Now watch what happens when I go to Facebook. And here's my video, right? So people have the option, they can go and they can click on that and watch it. See, now they don't necessarily have to go to my website to watch it, but frequently what will happen is that because Facebook puts that message in there, people may not click the play button. They might click the blog link and then, go back to the blog, where they then have the option of, like clicking on a category and saying, well, I want to take a look at the quotes button and see what kind of quotes does this guy, what does this guy have? And so then, someone could like self-select, some other content. Okay. And I'll just show you one more thing. I'm a quote maven. So if I go to some place like Brainy Quotes, oops, Brainy Quote, okay. And let's say I want to find something by Carl, oops. Come on, give me some Jung. Okay, so grab one of my favorite ones here, and I'm just going and, I could just copy and paste this. But I've got this cool tool called Recite This. And basically what it does is it takes quotes, it says turn a quote into a masterpiece. And so all I do is I take my cool quote and I post it as plain text. And maybe I want to put some quotation marks in there. All right, and then I can go and click on, see, I've got all these different backdrops that I can use. And, depending on my, my mood or which one of these, I think is good, I can just go and click on this. And it takes that quote and it drops it into a, a fancy uh, uh, background. I need more coffee. And so then I can download that image and throw it out to my desktop. And then this is the last thing, that I'll show you. Okay, I don't have Gmail open. So I will open Gmail. And one of the cool things about WordPress is that I can, every, WordPress website has, or can have, you can generate a secret email address or a secret voicemail box so that you can call and you can leave an audio message. But I can actually put my blog into my address book, and I can, let's see, what was the Jung quote about? Okay, so I give it a hard-hitting title like Your Vision. And go down here and click on the button to add an image. So here's my image that I just generated and downloaded. Okay, so I put that directly in the email, and WordPress is smart enough to ignore anything that comes after the standard signature of 2 hyphens and a space. So I just go and click the send button, and then go back to my blog and click on the title to refresh it. And faster than I can go to my blog, well, okay, this only doesn't work when I'm demoing it. So sometimes it's not instantaneous. But if I click refresh again, we're going to see that that email that I sent is already on my website. Okay. So, this is kind of long and rambling. I just wanted to share a couple of different tools that I like and take for granted. I'm just flipping through stuff. You can see that, basically this is right now, this personal blog, is just, it's just a bunch of memes for me. Um, and I'm just kind of playing around. Of course, you can always do more, but this is, what I'm doing right now. So this is what I do on my personal blog. I got a different business blog. Don't do exactly the same thing, but it's much easier to get started than what you think. I think that's the bottom line. So with that, I'm going to stop. I hope this was useful in some ways for you.